making this girl go to all the restaurants in Disney World. And today on our list, the Coral Reef.
This line has been called terrible and an all-time low for Disney food, so let's see if that's true.
Yeah. All right, this is a place I have not been in many years. If you don't know what Coral Reef Restaurant is, it has $2 signs on the Disney World menu. It serves lunch and dinner, and it's here in EPCOT, which is where we are right now because we're here at Coral Reef. Now, what is particularly neat about this restaurant is you actually get amazing views of a live coral reef and some fish friends because there's over 2,000 fish around you.
We're gonna look fish in the eyes while we eat fish?
Yeah, let's skip over that part.
This spot is going to be known for seafood, as you might have guessed, as it is called Coral Reef, as well as some American classics. We made it to our table. We are on the second level. Coral Reef is kind of a 3-tier restaurant because it's all so that you can sort of view the aquarium. And we actually have a pretty good view here. We're on the second tier, so we're not right next to the windows. But I don't mind it because that means I don't think those fish will be able to see us eating their friends.
My conscience actually requested
This
second
table.
and third. So.
Yeah, but we're like, the second is kind of nice because you're not making direct eye contact with the fish, but you still have a really good view of the sharks and stingrays and all the fish swimming by in the Seas Aquarium just next door. We are perusing the menu at this time to decide what to get here at Coral Reef. And with that, I think you can have a fun transition to the appetizer course.
Ready?
Yes. For our apps, we grabbed some of the new items off of the Coral Reef menu, as the menu has had a little bit of an update lately. These items are the grilled chicken wings with the Jamaican spiced rum glaze and green onions for $15. And we have the coconut fried shrimp with the mango chutney for $18. And then the bread service at Coral Reef is a pineapple coconut bread that comes with a citrus butter.
I'm starting off with the coconut shrimp with the mango chutney. Okay, first off, the best crunch. That was so good. It was just crispy. You can hear it when you bite into it, but it wasn't too oily, which I really liked. The shrimp was kind of thin, which was totally fine because it kind of added to that crunch. The coconut was super sweet, and I don't love coconut shrimp, but it wasn't an overpowering flavor. It was just more complimentary. The mango chutney was not my favorite. The mango was just not as fresh as I typically would like it to be. So there wasn't a ton of sweetness from that, but it didn't need it since the coconut was so sweet. The main thing that came through in the mango chutney was the red onion. So it had kind of more of a bite to it, but I really liked this. Maybe not my number one, but I want to try the wings and then we'll see where this lands.
The bread has the texture of like a standard like yeasty sort of dinner roll. The butter is really delicious and soft and easy to spread. I think for me, the pineapple and coconut flavor makes it feel almost sweet, even though it's not a sweet bread. But those flavors are so associated with sweet. I'm mostly tasting coconut, but the butter goes really well with it, and the bread is warmed, which I think is really nice. I don't think it's like a standout as bread services go, but I think free bread is free bread. Exciting development in the tank. Some of the fish have turned into people. It was really crazy. Those were fish just a second ago, and then we looked down and back up, and now they're people. Which that'll happen if you're at Coral Reef.
Be really careful because some of the fish have cursed the food out of
Yeah, because the fish are good at curses. Okay, my take on the chicken wings. They're not my favorite. It's kind of like a basic sweet sort of barbecue-y sauce. I would not call it like on the sweet side. There's no spice at all. And the wings are cooked well, but they're not super crispy on the outside. It's honestly just like, it just feels like when you pull the skin off of like rotisserie chicken. So there's no like exciting crispy parts or anything like that. It's kind of very texturally homogeneous. I would not get again. I'm relatively picky with chicken wings. But I actually think that these are a safe picky eater appetizer because they are just kind of like a sticky, sweet teriyaki kind of sauce. What
did you think of the shrimp?
Not wowing me. The shrimp was very good. I would get the shrimp again. I like the coconut breading on the outside. I don't think it's overly coconutty, and I really love the mango chutney. Now let's talk atmosphere. These panoramic windows give every single table an inside view into the awesome underwater world of the Seas with Nemo and Friends. This is the pavilion in EPCOT that you'll know to be one of the largest man-made ocean environments on the planet. There's actually enough water in this aquarium to fill 54 Olympic-sized swimming pools. As Emma mentioned earlier, there are approximately 2,000 sea creatures with more than 60 aquatic species. And this is just totally entrancing. Literally the whole time Emma and I have been here so far, we've just been staring out. Sea turtles, sharks, stingrays, all swimming past. Huge schools of fish, and even scuba divers. The restaurant itself is on kind of a 3-tiered level, so all tables can see that aquarium. And there's beautiful mosaics that really help with that ocean theme. It feels a little dated in here, honestly, but you're not really even looking at the way the restaurant is decorated because you're busy staring out into the aquarium. Emma, what would we rate the atmosphere on a scale of 1 to 10? Ready? 3, 2, 1, 9. I know. I don't love the actual atmosphere, but I like looking at the fish.
I love the fish. I think if it were not for that single wall, I'd give it like a 2.
Fair enough.
And I think that's why it can't be quite that high for me, but the fish carry it to a 7, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah. Appetizer ranking? 3, 2, 1, 7.
Okay, I almost said 7, but I've said 7 a lot.
Yeah, I didn't love mine, but yours I really loved. And mine wasn't bad.
Yeah.
So like, I think 6 might be a good place for us to land on it.
Yeah.
But not horrible. We also grabbed the new entree here at Coral Reef, which is the seafood boil with shrimp, mussels, clams, andouille sausage, sweet corn, and potatoes. We've been eating a lot of andouille sausage in this series. And then Emma went with the surf and turf with filet mignon, grilled shrimp, garlic mashed potatoes, and a key lime chimichurri.
I'm very excited about
This is a beautiful dish. So the seafood boil had some hits and some misses in it. Basically, interestingly, the things that missed for me was all the seafood. I thought that the mussels were a little on the fishy side, the clams were a little on the salty side, and the shrimp was a touch overcooked. It almost reminded me as if it had been reheated from frozen. What was amazing in this dish was the corn. This was a really delicious piece of corn. It was sweet, it was well cooked, it wasn't like overly mushy or anything like that. I enjoyed the spots of this dish that had more Old Bay than other spots. And the best part of this dish was the andouille sausage, which had a delicious spicy flavor profile. It didn't actually bring a lot of heat to your mouth, but it was so well spiced and so flavorful. I wish that had been all andouille.
For my entree, I absolutely loved it. Like, I could scrape the plate clean.
Me too.
And the only reason I'm not is because we're getting dessert. The steak I ordered it medium rare, that's my preference. I think it was cooked really well. It was nice and pink in the middle, but still warm. It's not super, super seasoned, but you don't always need that. The potatoes are really nice. I love potatoes if they're really smooth, but then they still have chunks of potato in it. That's what this was, and it had red potato skins as well. Again, not overly seasoned, but both of these things did not need to be overly seasoned because of that key lime chimichurri. It was so good. I also adored the sweet bell peppers. I love a sweet bell pepper. These were cooked just enough that they were still texturally kind of crunchy, which I thought was really nice with all of the soft elements. And they were so bright and fresh that the combo of all of this together made it a classic dish, but a little bit more upgraded. I did not think I would like the surf and turf this much, so I'm really impressed with this, and especially compared to the seafood boil, really, really loved this one.
For dessert, we've got the new Key West Sunset, which is key lime tart with chantilly cream and raspberries for $10. And we also have the pineapple coconut bread pudding, because one thing about me and Emma, we're going to try the bread pudding. This is the pineapple coconut bread pudding with vanilla ice cream, warm rum caramel, and shaved coconut, also for $10. So we're going to try them out. Pretty jazzed. Flavor-wise, this bread pudding is a total winner for me. It's the same bread that you have at the beginning of the meal, just made into a bread pudding. That coconuttiness that was a little weirdly off-putting at the beginning obviously fits very well with this. The caramel has a nice saltiness to it, and it's these beautiful toasted coconut shavings, plus a huge scoop of ice cream. They never put enough ice cream on these desserts, and I feel like this is actually the right ratio. My complaint here is that texturally it's not a winner. The bread pudding, instead of being like super soft, is on the it's on the stiff side. It's kind of still that dinner bread bowl quality vibe. So that's where I just don't think this hits all that like delicious warm gooiness of a bread pudding. But it's still delicious, and I would get it again.
I actually really like this. Typically when I get something like a key lime pie, I don't always love the crust because I always find it to be, not always, but most of the time I find it to be too dry. This is just crumbly enough. It's not overly dry. It's moist enough that it kind of holds together without just, I don't know, being too moist. It's perfect. I'm going to give the crust a good perfect. I really love the actual filling itself, the sunset. It's so acidic-y, it's lemony, it's bright, very smooth as well. And then there's a massive hunk of whipped cream on top. And I'm never going to complain about that. No, I do think it tastes like a Cool Whip whipped cream. I don't necessarily think it was like anything fresh or made in-house, but I really like it. And I love the tart raspberries on top to kind of tie this all together. Is this super special? No, not necessarily, but I think it's well made.
I love it, but I feel like also I could buy it at my grocery store.
Yeah.
Okay. Dessert ranking. 3, 2, 1, 7. Yeah. Neither I think are that special, but both are tasty.
Yeah, both are really well made, which I don't think we've seen in every single course here.
Yeah. So dessert, I'll win for it.
Now this spot is not going to be for everybody. It's going to either be a magic or a tragic for you. A magic is if it's really good, and there's really going to be 3 reasons that this is a magic. If you have any sea life lovers in your family, this one's going to be good for you. If you've been craving seafood, it's also great. And if you've never been and you want to try something new, magic. Now, it might be a tragic, which means maybe just a skip for you. If you want the best table service in Epcot, this is probably not going to be your spot. If you're planning on checking out any of the festival booths, we always say go festival booth and not necessarily do a table service unless that's something you really want. So if you're checking out the festival, again, maybe not your number one. And then finally, if you have a limited time, table services are not always going to be your best bet, especially if you're in a rush. Maybe skip this one.
In many ways, the work of a critic is easy, but not when it comes to evaluating what is often called Disney's worst restaurant. Is Coral Reef Restaurant in Epcot a stunning location, a must-do for everyone? No. But where this spot may lack in its standout dishes and the fact that its performance in seafood defies its own name, it makes up for it in atmosphere, with stunning environments and a relaxing vibe to escape from the hustle and bustle of the park day. Couple that with outstanding service, shout out to Jay, our server, you were really cool, and Coral Reef was a pleasant afternoon. Whether it will be a memorable one, only time can tell. For this, we will be awarding Coral Reef 3 out of 5 stars. Next up, Emma and I are headed to either Narcoossee's at Grand Floridian or Le Cellier in Epcot. Let us know in the comments which one you want to see, and if you like this video, like and subscribe.